Section 8. 1. What strange pictures! They seem to be moving, don't they? But that is impossible. They are just fooling your eyes. How can this happen? Actually, it is just a trick called an optical illusion. This kind of art is called op art, which is short for optical art. Optical illusions trick the brain into seeing things differently from the way they really are. To make optical illusions, artists use contrasting colors, the repetition of simple forms, and the rules of perspective. Op art paintings appear to glow, twist, or move. Some paintings even seem to show hidden images. This art form was first introduced in 1965 at an exhibition called The Responsive Eye at the Museum of Modern Art, New York. Critics thought these works were nothing more than visual tricks. However, the public loved them and thought they were very fun. Today, op art is found in many places, such as TV advertisements and
2.
fashion designs.
In 17th and 18th century Europe, some wealthy women had doll houses, which looked exactly like real homes but were smaller. They were up to 2 meters tall and open on one side. They also contained many objects in each room, including tiny books, furniture, and dishes. Each of the objects was handmade and decorated in great detail. Some houses even had small paintings done by famous artists. It is no wonder that the owners spent a lot of money on creating them. Interestingly, these houses were not toys to play with. Collecting them was considered a hobby for adult women. In modern times, these luxurious dollhouses have turned out to have historical value as well. Some of these dollhouses have special rooms that only existed inside of very old European houses. Since the real homes are no longer around, we can look at these old dollhouses to see how people lived
3.
at that time.
The lyrics of your favorite songs can teach you many useful expressions, including similes and metaphors. Similes compare things using like or as. The song Stitches by Shawn Mendes contains this simile. Just like a moth drawn to a flame, oh, you lured me in, I couldn't sense the pain. The singer is comparing himself to a moth because he is attracted to someone in the same way that a moth is attracted to a flame. Metaphors compare things without like or as. For example, someone might say, "This room is a refrigerator." However, it's not really a refrigerator. The person is just saying the room is very cold. The song, You Are My Sunshine, contains this metaphor. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. The singer is comparing someone to sunshine because they both make him feel good. Songs are full of similes and metaphors. So listen to music
4.
and learn some more.
I am sure you have heard of the great Italian artist Michelangelo. His paintings are all amazing, but if you look closely, you might discover something strange. The appearances of the women in many of his paintings are unnatural. Many seem too muscular to be women. Actually, a study was conducted on this subject. Researchers studied the women painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, one of Michelangelo's masterpieces. According to the study, the women have many features unique to the male body. They have broad shoulders and narrow hips. They also have long thighs. This means Michelangelo likely used male models to draw the women. No one knows for sure, but it was probably difficult to find female models at that time. So, most likely, Michelangelo made sketches of male models and painted women's clothing on top of them to complete
Section
his
9.
paintings.
1. Hedy Lamarr was a Hollywood actress. She was very famous, but she found acting boring. So, in her free time, she worked on a variety of inventions, including an improved traffic light and a tablet that changed water into a soft drink. During World War II, Lamarr wanted to help America and its allies. She decided to invent new technology that could be used to win battles. Working together with a composer named George Antheil, Lamarr invented a way of quickly switching between radio frequencies. It could be used to stop the enemy from blocking messages. Although it was never used during World War II, the U.S. Navy began using it 20 years later. In 1997, Lamarr and Antheil were honored for their work. Their invention had helped others develop important new technology, including Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS. Today, some people even refer to Lamarr as the mother
2.
of Wi-Fi.
After a terrible earthquake, a building has collapsed. Are there people trapped inside? How can we find them? This is a job for a robotic snake. A robotic snake is about 90 centimeters long and only 5 centimeters wide. Its body consists of 16 separate sections, so it can move in many different ways by twisting, turning, and rotating. Because of this, it can go places where people and other robots cannot. When a building collapses, the robot can be put inside it with a rope. An engineer can then use a remote control to make it move through pipes and other small spaces. It has a light on its head, as well as a camera, a speaker, and a microphone. Therefore, it can gather important information about the situation inside. The engineer can even communicate with trapped people, assuring them that help is on the way. Hopefully, the robotic snake will help save many lives
3.
in the future.
Although we can just flip a switch to turn on a light, people in some places do not have electricity. They must use kerosene to light their homes, which is expensive and dangerous. Now, an invention called the socket could change this. It is a soccer ball with a special device inside that uses the force of kicks to generate electricity. This energy can be used to charge electric devices. In fact, by playing with the socket for 10 minutes, you could power an LED light for 3 hours. Besides lighting homes, there are other meaningful ways in which it can be used. For example, students can play with it after school. Then they can use it as a desk lamp at home, and it can help them study at night. It may be the perfect product, as soccer is popular worldwide. If people around the world use the socket when they play soccer, it will create an enormous amount of
4.
electricity.
A spy in disguise silently sneaks into a flock of penguins. For months, it watches the penguins as they eat, sleep, lay eggs, and raise their babies. What is the spy trying to do? This spy is a life-size robotic penguin whose mission is to use the cameras in its eyes to record the behavior of real penguins in their natural habitat. It looks just like a real penguin, and it can walk and get back up after it has fallen over. In addition, its brain stores more than 75 pre-programmed penguin motions that resemble real ones. With these features, the robot can even get close to Humboldt penguins, which are the shyest of all penguins. They are so timid that they have hardly been filmed. This idea has been applied to other creatures too. For example, there are now robotic dolphins and turtles. Thanks to this technology, humans can get to know wild creatures better than
Section
ever
10.
before.
1. Bethany Hamilton grew up in Hawaii, where she began surfing as a little girl. Her dream was to grow up to be a professional surfer. However, when Bethany was 13, a shark attacked her and bit her left arm. She was taken to a hospital, where doctors saved her life, but she lost her arm. Most people believed that Bethany would never surf again. Bethany, however, had no intention of giving up. 1 month after leaving the hospital, Bethany was back to surfing. She was in the ocean almost every day, learning to surf without her left arm. Less than a year after her attack, Bethany entered a surfing competition. Bethany is now married and has 2 children. Still, she competes as a professional surfer. Bethany knew when she was a little girl that she wanted to be a surfer, and nothing could stop her, not
2.
even a shark.
Winning feels great. But do you know what is better than winning? Winning a Grand Slam. The term Grand Slam was originally used to refer to an outstanding victory in the card game bridge. A sports reporter first used the term when a tennis player won all 4 major tennis events. Later, Grand Slam became a term used when players in other sports accomplished great things too. For example, a golfer achieves a Grand Slam when he or she wins all of the major golf championships. When it comes to baseball, a Grand Slam is when a batter hits a home run with players on all the bases. The term is also used in many other sports, such as track and field, figure skating, and mountain climbing. These days, Grand Slam is even used for great achievements in other fields, such as
3.
online games.
A skier whose leg is made of metal speeds across the finish line and wins the race. This man is an athlete in the Paralympic Games. The Paralympic Games are held soon after the Olympic Games every 4 years. Disabled athletes come from across the globe to compete in a variety of sports. At the closing ceremony, a special award is given out. It is called the Hwang Day Achievement Award, and it was named after a Korean woman who overcame her disability to become a medical doctor. Hwang dedicated herself to treating people with disabilities and promoting sports for the disabled. The award was created in recognition of her hard work. Today, the honor is given to one man and one woman. The recipients are athletes who have overcome obstacles to compete. They must have shown the true spirit of the Paralympic Games. No honor is more meaningful
4.
than this one.
One day, a man realized that he was addicted to online games and was living a very unhealthy lifestyle. So, he tried to find things to do in the real world. Nothing, however, seemed as fun as the virtual world. To solve this, he created a device that makes real sports seem like online games. He named it Square Brackets, which is pronounced ch-ch. It can be attached to hockey sticks, basketball shoes, or other sports equipment. Then, as these objects move, ch-ch makes sounds just like a computer game. These sounds change according to the movements of the players. Better movements create more dynamic sounds. The device rates a player's movements and allows him or her to move to higher levels. Other players can also hear these sound effects and comment on them. This encourages the player to improve. The man hopes his invention will motivate other people addicted to online games to spend more time exercising.